Good vibrations.
Button here.
Hello, everybody. We're live on Facebook. I am Hummingbird Jewel, and my mission statement is to teach love by being an example of love. And welcome to my third show, Soul-tions, a book review show for mind readers. And I'm excited today. We have author Aage Nost with us for his book, Spiritual Science. But before I get to Aage, I want to do a shout out, of course, for 1 million meditators. We're so excited. We're having our 2-year anniversary this month, and we're doing something a little different. We're starting off on the 21st. It's a Saturday, which is International Peace Day. And we're going to have the global 15-minute podcast from our ambassadors. I think we have over 100 meditations scheduled. So there's got to be one you can get to. And then throughout the week, our ambassadors are going to be doing little teachings on meditation, singing bowls. I'm going to do my regular show on Tuesday at 2. And then we'll end up the week on the 28th, which is our 2-year anniversary. Come on, people. We're trying to roll in 1 million people here. And we've been doing this for 2 years, every 2 months. So please join the movement if you haven't. Please share. Please share this show. Share our Facebook posts. Get your friends excited about it. And our global intent is so simple. I love myself and the planet. Just very beautiful. We really believe that if we bring 1 million people together, shift can happen. We can raise the vibration of our planet. So enough of that. Today I have Aage Nost on the show. And Aage, he has 25 years experience in TV, radio. He's kind of like a paranormal expert. Does stuff like UFOs in his background, and the power of the mind. He's really into that, and the universal consciousness, paranormal. And he has a radio show. It's called the Universal Consciousness Show with his host, Diane Seraphin. And so if you go to that site, and I'll put it in the notes, there's some really interesting shows. And I encourage you to go and check Aage out. So Aage and I, between the two of us, I think we have Aage 134 years on the planet. And I'm almost 61. So now I'm telling your age. How are you today, Aage?
I'm wonderful. I just don't know any other way to do it.
Another thing you and I have in common is reverse aging, right?
Yeah, and actually that is a part of the book where I explain how to do that. And did you know that in 2009, 3 doctors got the Nobel Prize for discovering an enzyme that reverses the aging process?
Yes. And I thought it was one. It was a woman, wasn't it? Or it's 3 people?
Yeah, she was the front person, but there was 3 of them. And yeah, the thing about it is that nobody told us about it. And this should have been the most extravagant medical news this millennia.
Yeah.
But well, of course, you know what's going to happen to Social Security and pension programs if people quit dying. So then nobody told us. But they did it. And I am doing it, and it works for me.
Yes.
And there is this enzyme called telomerase, and I explain in the book how to do this because I know it works.
Yeah.
I found some very old people. The oldest person that is I found, he was 256 years old when he died from an accident. And another guy that died from food poisoning in New York, he was 154. And the thing is that we are doing somewhat the same now because I'm doing it the cheap way, so to speak. I am doing it by giving myself nutrition so that the body can create its own enzyme. And there is a pharmaceutical for it that also can give you some side effects.
Right.
Yeah, and that's TA65. And you may go ahead and research that one a little bit. And look at the testimonials on it because not all of them are good.
Yeah.
But I haven't heard anything wrong or negative about the way we're doing it here when the body creates its own, because that's natural. And in the
Yes.
book, I explain very well how to do this, and it works for me, so I'm really excited about it.
Yes. The book is Spiritual Science, and there's a link for it. It has a lot of interesting topics in it. I myself, I use spiritual hypnosis with WellPoint spiritual hypnosis method, and have my subconscious mind programmed to increase the telomere length, because my understanding was that they shorten as we age. That was kind of what I got out of it. But you can take herbs. Certain herbs to help the telomeres. Yeah, that is one aspect. There's lots of different things for reverse aging, but that is so true that not too many people know about that. So I always like to ask my authors, why did you name your book Spiritual Science?
Oh, that is probably... See, everything is based on science. We have three different sciences. One is physical science, mental science, that's like photographic memory and thought transference, things like that.
Yeah.
But then we have spiritual science, and mankind as a whole have not a clue. But there is a spiritual science that is just like there is a Dr. James Gates. He's a theoretical physicist, and he spent his whole life researching the universe and trying to figure out what this ball of mud, how it fit in that we're calling Earth here. And he said, I found computer code deeply embedded in the equations of the fabric of space.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, what we think we're living here is not an accident. It's design. Somebody designed this, and somebody created it after they designed the mold to put it into. So that tells me that if this is a scientific experiment or computer program, whatever it is, we're part of it. We're part of the particles that makes it up. We have some control of it.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to the science behind it, we can direct through our mind, we can direct and create what is around us, because everything starts in the mind. So I figured the whole universe was made on created through a science, so why not call the book Spiritual Science, because it reaches beyond the physical.
Good answer. And so one of the things that really attracted me to you, and why I think it's so cool to have you on the platform of 1 million meditators, is that you were speaking to bringing 1 million people together, but you were using your own kind of philosophy. Can you talk a little bit about that? You know what I'm talking about?
The mastermind?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk about the mastermind.
Yeah, the mastermind, I talk about how to do this on a small scale and a big scale in the book, because a mastermind, the definition of that I've come up with is when two or more minds are united in harmony, they create a third mind that has the potential mind power of the two or more of them multiplied by each other. If you have 1,000 people seeing this over the last maybe 2-3 weeks, this show,
right?
That if we have their minds joined together for one purpose and one directed intention, we have the mind power of 1,000,000, 1,000 times thousands, 1,000,000 minds. This becomes powerful. And people should do this in their families. A family of 5 should get together, decide what do we want, how do we want our life to progress from here, and agree on it with colorful images and gratitude and emotion, and put the spiritual language into it. And then every day they visit that image. And there's a little more to it that I explain in the book, where you actually take that image that you create of what you want in life, place that into the future to a time-coded event, like Christmas party or something like that, when you're standing around toasting what you have accomplished.
Mm-hmm.
Then go back and forth and visit it, and you're laying down tractor strings to it. It'll pull you up that timeline to it, so when the Christmas party comes around, you can just walk into it. Of course, we're in the physical creation here, so we have to do our part, because God will give us the nut, but He won't crack it, right? So we have to do our part.
I love the idea that you say bring your family together, because I do my own manifestation. I have since I've been a child. I didn't really know how I was doing it, but basically it would be focusing on something. When I was 8 years old, my Norwegian stepfather, I know you're from Norway, told me about the Midnight Sun, and I got fascinated by it at the time. And I thought I really want to see the Midnight Sun. I got fixated on the Midnight Sun as a child. And I kind of let go. Well, at age 16, I'm in Bodo, Norway, which is up near the Arctic Circle, by myself, watching the Midnight Sun, and it occurred to me that I manifested.
You're breaking up so bad. You're breaking up so bad I could not hear any of that.
Oh, you can't hear me? I hope we're okay.
Yeah, your screen is freezing up too.
Your screen or mine?
Say again? No, I could not hear.
Okay, I can hear you. So, are you back?
No, let me shut down a couple of things here.
Okay. So funny, because I had a big storm here not too long ago.
Yeah, I cannot hear you. Can you hear me okay? You froze. Totally froze. I cannot hear anything. Nope.
Okay, are you back?
Hey.
I don't know what I did. I was just I have what I call my tech angels. And so I try not to panic, and then they tell me what to do. I know that sounds weird, but I just like, help. So I just kind of.
That tech angel, give me his email. I really need to talk to him.
Okay, so anyway, just talking about, it's interesting that you said to manifest with other people. Like,
Yeah.
I've always done it kind of by myself. And how much more fun would it be if you had a friend, even 2 or more, right? And but then what can a million people do? Like, what can a million people do? I know. So, 1 million meditators is just kind of exciting in that way, when Anita got that concept to do that. So, Aage, let's talk about your definition. This is kind of a hard question, maybe, but maybe not for you. What's your definition of universal consciousness? Because you put it on the cover of your book. And to me, when the authors put words on the cover, it's really important. So can you speak to what that means, universal consciousness?
Yeah, just like Dr. James Gates found, there is a computer language behind our existence that actually create the foundation for what it is built on. So there is an intelligence behind it all. And that intelligence, including everything, this desk and everything, is consciousness. Everything has intelligence and consciousness. Even the rock you got sitting outside the door is built by consciousness. And this universal consciousness goes beyond the physical. It goes into the lower astral worlds, the spiritual hierarchy, all the way up to however many dimensions that you may think that you could have. This consciousness reaches everything in the universe, and that is what many people call God, because it's not the old white guy sitting on a cloud up there controlling everything. Right. No, there is a consciousness here, and we are a little offshoot of that consciousness that is given a limited memory of what is behind the curtain. We have this longing, and that's why we long for spirituality and religion because we have this longing for something that we don't know what is.
Uh-huh.
And this consciousness is all around us. Quantum physics has proven it to us that it is there. All we can do is just to, through meditation, we can tap into it. We can get knowledge from it, like I did in my download. And this is not special to me. Everybody can do this. But I would also say that meditation is probably the gate to the higher consciousness.
Yes.
1 million meditators, right?
I know. And it doesn't have to be like hard. You know, people think, oh, am I doing it right? I need to sit a certain way. I need to use beads. I need to, it's not that hard, huh? You can kind of just get it drop down from my brain to my heart. When I do that, that helps because I got to turn off that monkey mind.
You can you meditate anywhere. I can meditate going down the street because my mind, meditation will be better for you if you lower the brainwave pattern into the bottom of the alpha range or below.
Right.
And you also really should try to be able to get rid of all unwanted thoughts. And there's 2 tricks in the book that I explained really well on how to do. I run into people that have meditated for 20 years and they still don't know how to get rid of their thoughts popping in on them.
Right.
In fact, I tell you what, let's do 20 seconds and explain one trick that works about 100% of the time.
Okay, I'm ready.
Sit somewhere, try to relax as much as you can. Look straight across the room at something on the wall. If you find a spot over there, just look at it. And then cross your eyes just a little bit. Not so much that it hurts, but just a little bit. Now you see 2 spots. And then close your eyes. Keep your eyes still crossed a little bit. You will notice that your mind goes dull and everything goes away.
It's the observation point. It's the observation point.
Yes, because now the mind is busy doing something without thought.
You're tricking your ego, the amigo, and getting it to do something. That's a great technique. I love that.
There's another one too that for concentration that is something that Einstein did, and it works really well. Also, it's in the book.
In the book, you got to get the book, y'all. And the link for the book is in the notes and all that. So you have devoted an entire chapter on how to send love. Can you talk to me about how to send love? How do you send love?
Yeah, because nobody has enough love in their life. The people that get involved in politics and even into the clergy, they have the ego control things.
Yeah.
If you start thinking more of other people and meditation, you reach into the universal consciousness and you get things pulled back. Then you start raising your vibration. Once you start raising your vibration of the body, you start thinking different. You start thinking more about other people than yourself. And you start thinking, oh, gee, you know, this is not right. What can I do to help? And then you raise your vibration with everything that you do. It becomes kind of like a lifestyle to think different. And if I think back on myself, back in my really hard-nosed business days, God, I was a jerk.
I know.
And that has changed.
I hear you. Do you realize I used to run a collection agency? I was a manager of a collection agency. That was my job. And I'm not putting collection agencies down or anything like that. It's a business and everything. But just one day I just walked off the job. I just walked off. And it was paying me really, really well and everything. I realized I can't do this anymore. And I walked into the Psychic Guide bookstore and took a job as a book clerk for $5.50 an hour. And that got me on my road. What kind of got you off of the business path and then into metaphysics and paranormal? How did you go from that hard-nosed businessman to?
Well, I think, I'm a retired pilot. We had a flight school, international air taxi, and an air carrier, myself and a partner. And And I flew for 23 years. And when you do something too much, I don't care if you own the company, if you do something too much, you burn out. And I did, and I started doing other things. I started looking at mind development and painting and things and meditation. I meditated since I was 19 years old, but I quit
Really?
while I was flying a lot because there really was no time. I was working 12, 16 hours a day then too, so there was no time for it. But once you start on this path, this hunger for more spiritual knowledge will come to you, and it comes in a way that you can actually pair it or combine it with what you're doing every day as your job, and it makes your job more palatable in some cases and also more effective in other cases. Especially if you have a job that really sucks, just start meditating and things will change.
Meditation, the key.
Yeah.
What other ways do you suggest that somebody would raise their vibration or their frequencies? Do you have like little tips that you
Oh,
use?
there's something that I do it all the time, and that is whenever I see a homeless guy or a homeless person on the street,
Hmm?
walk over to, put a $10 bill in my hand, and I reach my hand out. Sometimes they don't understand what you're doing, but eventually they take the hand, and I put that $10 bill in his pocket, and I say, "Have a good day." And
Oh,
when you walk away, I get rewarded much more than he does because it feels wonderful.
so giving
Yeah,
of yourself without expecting in return.
absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then there's gratitude that helps too. That's something that I try to stay in. But every once in a while, I get a little wink from the universe, like, like something will go wrong on my body, and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, I now appreciate my big toe." Like wouldn't think your big toe's important, wait till your big toe's not working. I'm like, okay, I appreciate everything.
Yeah, we need that one.
So you also have a chapter on peace and pure love. You want to speak to peace and pure love?
Peace, it is more than absence of war. It is not absence of war at all, because first of all, of course, there's no peace there. But on the other hand, even after they make a truce, there's still not necessarily peace. It's just absence of war. But peace is in the mind. We had peace after the Vietnam War's over because people, they had enough of the conflict. You had candles in the windows, and they just no more what there were demonstrations, and people wanted peace. And when you take it from there, it goes in your mind, and you get peace of mind is different than peace in politics. When you have peace of mind, that is when you reach this place which you feel happy with.
Yeah.
And I can say I am there now. I have reached that peace of mind. There's still things that I want to do, but I don't agonize over it. I don't really have any negative feelings from things that gets in the way sometimes. Just when you wake up in the morning and you're really happy that first of all you're able to get both eyes open and you can see and you get out there and you just have peace. You feel happy. A lot of people don't have that.
Yeah.
And there again, 1 million meditators start meditating.
Yeah.
Because that's the gate to higher consciousness, which will give you that peace of mind.
That's true. That's true. And so in your book, you have spiritual prayers that you recommend. Is there any that are your favorite? That you...
Spiritual, oh, pray. You know what? You're the first one that has ever asked me that. And that's why you are the only one that will be told.
Okay, people, listen.
I meditate before I go driving. I meditate before I do some, every radio show I do, and I do one about every day. Um, I take a time before. I sit down and I close my mind down and I tell myself, it could be a little different every so often, but I tell people are happy listening to what I have to say. The words will flow so I can help the world get their peace of mind. That could be different sometimes, but that's what I said this time.
Right.
And then same thing when I get in the car going somewhere. I have a ritual that I do. I put my hands on the wheel and I tell myself I'm in the bright white light of the universal Father's love. I am safe. I am free. And then I visualize that huge white bubble going about a block around me. And then I turn the key and go. I do that every time I go somewhere. And I don't have accidents. Of course, a lot of other people don't have accidents either. So,
Right, right. But yeah, little prayers and little techniques. Those are like kind of fun.
Yeah.
So, tell me a little bit about your radio show, Universal Consciousness.
I do 2 radio shows.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, and the Universal Consciousness show is one of them with Diana, my co-host over in Germany. Tremendous mind. She speaks 7 languages, and she's quite sharp. And I also have Broadcast Team Alpha.
Okay.
That is another show that we do, and I have that with Nori Love, which will she would be a good guest for you someday. And
she have a book?
Actually, she does. She hasn't she's very sharp. She's a Reiki master, and we overlap really good on the air. I'm more kind of like the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
And she is
the glitter.
Spiritual.
Aww.
So yes, so we kind of overlap pretty good there.
So do you guys bring guests in, or do you just have a topic each show, or how's that work?
We interview other people, and once in a while we just do one on our own, and with a good topic. But we do that show on it's 8 o'clock in the evening East Coast time, on Broadcast Team Alpha. Okay. And the Universal Consciousness show is at 11 o'clock West Coast time. Make that 2 o'clock East Coast time on Mondays. Cool. Broadcast Team Alpha is on Wednesdays.
All right. Yeah. I didn't know about the second one, so I'll get the link for that. So I'll put it in the show notes for people so that they can check out your radio show. So, oh my gosh. So anything else you want to talk about? I can just let you kind of, anything that you have on your mind, or?
I would encourage people. Start meditation, and the book I explain how to do it. It's so simple. You just close down your mind and allow for things to happen. But also, before you go into that meditation, have something in mind that you want to accomplish. That will help. If you meditate with nothing on your mind, it's kind of getting in the back of a cab and say, let's drive. And the next thing he's going to say, where to? And
that's true.
Anywhere. Well, you may not get where you want to be. So
who knows where you might end up.
Yeah, so just have something in mind that you want to accomplish, because when you close the mind down, that message goes out into the universe, into that universal pool of creative energies, and it can start pulling things back to you into the physical so you can have it.
So that would work in the opposite if you're thinking bad things, or by thinking negatively too, correct? You're going to draw that in.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it's true. Harnessing our thoughts and keeping, ourselves turned. What do you do when you get a bad thought? Like, do you just go, uh-oh? I know what I do. I have a little technique.
If I have something really negative that get in there, I want to analyze, what is that? Where did it come from? And then I basically say, cancel, cancel, cancel. And then I think of something else, and that thing goes away.
Yeah, cancel, cancel. I got that from the Tibetan Book of the Dead, I believe, and they said
I
to
think I
say,
got it the same place.
yeah, yeah. They said to say cancel. It actually is Tete, te, but it didn't sound right to me to say that. So I just say cancel, cancel when I, so
Yeah.
I try to do that. But yeah, I mean, because we're all going to think something, negative once in a while. And you don't want to beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Just kind of let it go by and just say, okay, cancel that.
But there's one thing that I want to say. I guess we got maybe 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Okay. That is that decide what you want in life.
Okay.
People spend more time planning their vacation than their life. There's something wrong with that.
Yeah.
So that's why you get good vacation and lousy life sometimes. Plan ahead. Design what you want. Put that in the future and do whatever you can to help it happen. But think about it every day. Start designing your future and just waiting for things to happen because they usually will.
Oh, that's so awesome. Aage, thank you so much for coming on the show. It's been wonderful, beautiful. And I can't wait to, have some more discussions. It's
Yeah,
so fun knowing you and meeting you, and people buy the book, Spiritual Science. There's all kinds of good stuff in it. I mean,
there
we
it is.
we only covered like a little bit. And check him out on his show. All right, everybody, closing down my third show. Thank you for joining me. This will be on YouTube too, so you can watch it later in replays.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hummingbird Jewel. I'd appreciate that. And 1 million meditators, join the movement. It's only 15 minutes, so you can start small, right? All right, thank you. See you later.
See ya.
Bye. Thank you.